Hey, good morning, and welcome to another segment of My Tea for the Week. Oh, it's your girl, Valerie Locust. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. Go ahead, girl, and grab that tea and meet me at the table. You know I got something to say. Oh, my subject for today? Lord, turn me again. Ladies, listen, I don't know about y'all, but this world is moving so fast, and I feel like I'm being turned every which way but loose. That's right. Don't nothing seem stable anymore. Honey, things changing so fast, it's changing on a dime. I mean, like every second of the day. Do y'all feel like that? For instance, we get up in the morning, have to do certain things, and we do it a certain way. Now, don't mess around there and lay down and go to sleep. Honey, you wake up the next day, you still got to do the same thing. But look, overnight it's changed. And bless our heart, our minds is trying to adapt, trying to keep up with this fast paced environment, not realizing that it's affecting the way how we think, how we respond, Lord, and definitely how we make decisions. Yeah, understand that changes are happening every day, all day around us, and it's happening at a real fast pace. And with it happening so fast, y'all, it can definitely cause us to become insecure and indecisive. Why? Because we won't know what path we're going to find ourselves on next, what we're going to face next, what will happen next, what changes we're going to have to do next. And the list can go on and on and on. That's right. But, ladies, if we are to overcome being overwhelmed, we're going to have to simply find ourselves trying to get back to the author and finisher of our faith. And I know y'all know that's God. Yeah. See, He is the only one who is stable enough to lead, guide, and direct us in the ways that we should go and to help us to face all of these instabilities. Oh, yeah, that we are going to definitely one day, one way or another, have to face. And that's why it's so important for us to acknowledge Him in all of our ways. Because if we do that, then what did He say? He would direct our paths. Yeah, our paths. Let's just think about that for a minute. Matter of fact, let's take us a sip of tea on that one. Yeah. See, y'all, when we're talking about paths, there's a whole lot of things that can happen on a path from the time we step on it until the time we get off of it. That's right. See, in the beginning, that path will probably be smooth. We laughing, skipping, clapping our hands, dancing, patting our feet. But honey, trust me, by the time we get to the end of that path, oh, we done faced all kind of things like fear, doubt, uncertainties, insecurities, missteps, mishaps, obstacles. Oh yeah, all of these things happen from the time we get on that path and before we get off that path. And that's why, y'all, it's so important for us to acknowledge Him. Because I don't know what it is about this human mind that tells us that we know what's best for us. And we don't. And we really don't. That's just like me. I can talk about me. I put myself on a lot of them paths, y'all. I did. And I just messed up on top of messed up. And then I put another mess up on top of that mess up. And what I found myself doing was trying to stay on these paths that I put myself on, jumping off, jumping back, jumping forward, going around all of these winding, slippery paths. And y'all look, I ain't lying. I ran into all kinds of lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. And I tell y'all the truth. I'm laughing, but it sure ain't funny. I made a mess of myself. And I couldn't listen. I messed up so bad on some of these paths that I thought were right until I couldn't fix them if I wanted to. That's just how bad I was. I just messed up and just kept messing up. Trying to find a way to get off the path, or didn't have sense enough to get off the path, or didn't even have sense enough to just stop and ask for directions. Now y'all know that's pitiful. But how many of us think like that? We know we on the wrong track, wrong path. You can see the warning sign. You can see the thing saying, warning, warning. We see the stop sign, big old red light, but we keep on going. Lord, please help us. We really, truly need your help. But now, what would have happened if I would have just paused long enough and just asked or consulted with the Father to even see if I should have been on this path in the first place? Don't you know if I had taken the time to do that instead of just jumping on some of these paths myself, I would have had better outcomes in regards to every area of my life? That's the truth. I would not have made so many mistakes. I wouldn't have caused so much hurt and damage to myself if I would have simply taken the time to ask the Father so that He could direct me, and I would have had better outcomes. Oh boy, sometimes we do so much damage to our own selves. But there's still hope. So we ain't gonna give up, not yet. Now, ladies, we ain't gonna never give up. We're gonna learn as we go. The sooner, the better, of course. But once we have it, we'll have it. And I tell you what, we won't be making these brash moves and jumping ahead of God. No, we're going to take time. We're going to stop. We're going to ask Him His direction, His wisdom, and then we're going to let Him direct our steps. Yeah, see, that way, even though we can't avoid the path that we might be on, but we can definitely go around some of these snares and some of these obstacles that will prevent us from getting to the end whole instead of being torn apart by all this other stuff in the middle. So let's talk about what would happen if we failed to allow God to turn us again. Number one, we will continue to make a mess out of our lives. Why? Because for many of us, we'll probably be on a path that we have no business being on in the first place. Number two, we'll look up and realize that time has passed us by and we are still on the wrong path if He has not placed us there, heading in the wrong direction. And understand this, that time that we lose, we can't get it back, ladies. Number three, we will spend our life with many, many regrets. And number four, at the end of the day, we will have wished that we had just simply took the time before we jumped on these paths that we thought were best for us and asked God for His wisdom so that He can what? Direct our path with His leading, His wisdom, His guiding, and His direction. See, because if you're like me, see, I still got some little paths out there that's just a little bit suspect. Yeah, that's right, y'all. The jury ain't came back in on those. But I want the Lord to turn me again. Yeah, see, I don't wanna keep making these messes. It's too much attached to them. So what I have to do, if I want Him to turn me again, I just simply have to acknowledge the fact that I did mess up, that I jumped ahead of him, that I didn't ask him. And so now I'm coming to him with a change of heart and a change of mind. Number two, once I've acknowledged it, then I just simply repent. That's right, just repent. Which means that I'm making a conscious effort to not to make that same mistake again. And y'all know, when we come to him like that, he ain't gonna crack us with no whip. No. He loves it when we come to him. He's our Father. Number three, stop pointing blame. No, at the end of the day, y'all, whatever decision that was made, guess who made it? I did. So no, me blaming people and say it was their fault, no, that was my fault. And number four, if you want him to really turn you around fast, honey, stop asking everybody their opinion. Because as many people you ask, that's how many different answers you're going to get. So just go back to the manufacturer, God, our Father, and ask him for his direction, for his wisdom, for his leading, and for his guiding. Ladies, as always, it's such a joy to hang out with you for a few minutes, just to try to encourage you as I encourage myself, and we together try to get through this thing called life. I like to challenge each and every last one of us on this week to simply ask God to turn us again. In other words, God, put us back on track. Put us back on the path that you have predestined for us from the very foundation of the world. I'd also like to ask, if you haven't done so already, check out my YouTube channel and leave me a comment. I'll be so glad to hear from you. Also, ladies, stay safe. We're in a pandemic and it's real. But I'm your girl, Valerie Locust. Thanks so much for tuning in. And until next time, cheers to the new, oh yeah, and the improved you.